What is up, everyone? So today, no, this is not a Peq 15, not a Peq 16, but this is the NGAL from SomoGear. So we're going to go over its features, its price point, and whether or not you should purchase it. So let's get into this review and see what it's all about. Okay, so this is a Peq 15 replacement. Basically, everything's sleeker, slimmer, lighter weight, just looks better. Basically a mini Peq 15, okay? So this one's by SomoGear. It is not for a real firearm. It is for paintball or airsoft. It's fully aluminum, so it's fully machined out. This is an actual 5-watt laser, okay? So it is high powered, unlike, you know, your civilian stuff you get that's real steel components. This is actually 5 watts, so that's a plus on this, and it's all machined out, okay? So we'll go over its stuff it comes with before we get into the nitty gritty. You get one of these loose cases, okay? It's Kedora with molly webbing, and you can loop it through. Unsure what that has to do with your laser itself. You get a cheap sticker pack. You get a pressure switch, and you get a flat blade, cheap flat blade. Okay, on the inside, there's nothing besides one pocket, which could hold some accessories. I'd rather not have gotten this little package, and would rather have saved some money instead. But to each is their own. Some people like this type of stuff, okay? It takes one CR123 battery. It's all aluminum, it's real slim. I'll compare it to the DBal that I have and make a video on that. But you know what? Let's just see what it looks like compared to it. Just a side-by-side for you guys real quick. Okay. So these are the profiles that you're looking at. Just a little quick show and tell right there. Okay, we'll mount it to a weapon too, but we'll go over its features. This is supposed to have your regular light, on and off, momentary, your laser. This is the green laser. You could get in red or green, and then you're supposed to have your IR, but I cannot test those functions. I could just test the lasers and show you what they look like. You have these blue screws here that allow you to go to high powered mode. You have a button here, on and off, momentary. You double click it for constant. The pressure pad goes in the back here, okay? You have a little green dot right here saying that's a green laser, but we'll see what it looks like. So you have a little tiny illuminator. This is supposedly 400 lumens, but I mean, who knows? You have your green dot up on one, and then you have your IR. These are not slaved to the adjustment. So if you're doing IR or if you're doing laser, green laser, you're gonna have to make those adjustments accordingly on their own, okay? So here's the green laser, okay? This is what it looks like. This is not the high-powered version. When you go to high-powered, you can see the intensity increase, okay? If I double-click, it's on constantly, okay? It's kind of weird because the DBal that I have, it looked like it flashed in the image or in the video. This one doesn't appear to do that. Okay, that's that. I have another mode here. I assume that this is IR, but I cannot tell because these do not correspond with IR or constant. It does say IR on one of them, but that doesn't mean that I'm getting actual IR through here. I can't tell. Okay. And then this is strobe. So if you hold it, it's on strobe. If I double click it, it'll stay on constant. So the same button that does strobe, or the same position that does strobe, also does your constant by, so momentary is always going to be strobe, okay? And double clicking it will leave it on constant, which kind of sucks because you would think that they would make one of these adjustments to do just strobe only, and you can have a constant strobe, but that's not the case. And then of course you have your momentary switch here, which is on strobe, and if I double click it, it's constant. So it's the same thing as this button. It does the same function. Okay. So all these are adjustable except for your flashlight. Okay, you have all the adjustments here, but that's it. Let's add it to the actual gun itself. See what it looks like. So back here, there's like a little slit in the back that looks like you could attach a lanyard to it to like keep it, just in case it got knocked over. There's no quick detach here. It's all done by hand, and then you use a flat blade to tighten it. The flat blade that it comes with is too small for this. It's just for your adjustments. Okay, so that's the profile in your hand. It's a super sleek, low profile, especially in here. Really nice. Okay. I actually do recommend this over the DBal by a long shot. Like gripping it in a C-clamp grip, this chamfer here just allows your fingers to, you know, or your thumb to grip over it nicely. So for the verdict, do I recommend this? If you have airsoft or paintball marker that you want to add it to, by all means, yes, go ahead and buy that. If you don't have an actual light that's stronger than this, this says it's 400 lumens, but I doubt it. I'd recommend getting a light to project distance, or also a strobe light, and then just use this for laser, or a light illuminator for like a real dim light. Okay, it's a white light, so maybe even indoors, so that way you have a high powered one for outdoors and a low powered one, this for indoors, so that way you don't get no reflection back at you. Okay, also it sits high enough to run a scope cam in there in this area if you decide to do that, so it's out of the way as well. Slim profile, you could tell the difference between this, the DBal, and the Peq 15 version of this. I'm really happy that they came out with this. So yes, it's worth the price if you use it for the right purpose. If not, you know, and you're trying to go cheap because you have a real firearm, this may not work out for you, and you may be spending too much money in the long run, unless you know how to rebuild stuff and maybe encase things differently on the inside, maybe put some dampeners on some circuit boards, and maybe even a stronger spring for that battery, just in case through the recoil like this, it doesn't pop on and off. Okay, so that's that portion of it. So yeah, if your intent's right, then yes, I do recommend it. It's a hefty penny to pay, but I mean, for the build quality you get, all metal, I think it's worth it, especially when the real one is way above that $1,500 range. Okay, so keep that in mind. You save a lot more money by going this route, especially if you're just using it for simulation. One thing I do not like is these covers here. This is like a rubber, this is a plastic, so it is stretchy, but they do not stay on as good. I think eventually this rubber is going to stretch to the point where these are not going to stay on nicely, but as of now it does fit pretty good. So that's going to complete today's video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated. If you want to see content like this and other content I'll be posting, especially the comparison video between this and the DBal, stay tuned for that. But until next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching.